Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the dis and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live on www.letgoradio.net and on Facebook Live, where I always say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it.
What's up, everybody out there in Facebook land and live on www.letgoradio.net? It is I, D to the J with the roll away. Happy to see everybody today. And yes, it is Wednesday at 2 o'clock yet again. And time for episode 47. 47. Can you believe it? Oh, my heaven. It's 47. I got to tell you, it is a wonderful thing to know. Hey, everybody, as you come into the show. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Cindy. Glad to see you. Hey, Michael, how are you? Today is a very special day, and to be honest, I'm going to tell you why. Just want to go over a couple things. We have a very special guest that's going to come in today, and I'm going to give her a few minutes, but I want to just talk a little bit about what this week is, what this Friday is going to represent. Now, I've had the privilege. Hey, Dan, how are you, brother? All the way from England, joining us on the My CP Does Not Define Me show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Going to have Dan as a guest very soon. But starting this Friday, March the 26th through the 31st, we are going to have the 6th annual Cerebral Palsy Conference. Now, I have been privileged to be part of 3 of these, and the most amazing thing to me is just that, to be able to do this again. And every year about this time, I always get excited because I think about, what this week means. And it's so much work and so much preparation. And, you're putting everything together. And the lady that I'm going to bring on, most of you know quite well. She is the CEO and founder of Kelly's Choice. She is a mother of 4, one child with a disability that needs total care. Y'all know Kelly very well. And she does her job extremely, extremely well. Now, outside of all that, what this lady is, it is amazing. And as amazing as she is as a mom, she's my mama too. Y'all just got to understand that. But outside of taking care of business as a family and a mother and a wife and doing all the house stuff, and that right there is tough enough. And taking care of 4, I don't know if I could take care of 4. I don't know if I could take care of 1. But I will tell you, to be able to do all that and to organize Kelly's Choice, to be able to have all of the guests that she has with their own radio spots and manage Let Go Radio and all of these things, the effort and the energy that this lady puts out. I'm telling you, I don't know how she does it. She must be real close with the Energizer Bunny. I tell you, that's a lot of energy to put out. She is outstanding in the fact of what she does for people that at the time they might not even realize it. The first time that I went to a conference and I saw her conference live, we were in a hotel, and I remember, I'm like, wow, this thing, started early in the morning, and we were there. I was there about 8 o'clock because I like to get to places early. And Miss Winnie was running around like a chicken with her head cut off, and I'm telling you, I was just sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out because I knew I was going to speak. And it's like you get so excited, before you're about to go up in front of people. And that conference itself was powerful because you have a room full of people and you can interact with your audience. Now, what's amazing to me is now you go through that first one, and I believe that was her third. It was either the second or third. And that was powerful because I was there and I was able to interact with everybody and I was able to, go through and speak. And there was so many great speakers at that conference. I was kind of moved when it was my time to speak. I wanted to literally just grab my audience and hold on to them and talk to them about what was on my heart. And I remember the message that I delivered at that point. And I'm rolling up down the aisle talking. Yeah, she's a lot of people's angel, Miss Nikki. I'll tell you that right now. I just remember the impact and her energy. Now you got to imagine to go that long from 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning till 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. That takes a lot. And then when you're organizing and you're greeting people and you're going through and you're making sure the food is right and you're making, because we had a day that day, we had a buffet style lunch and all this. And I'm thinking, man, it ain't going to get no better than this. Now you look at 2020 and then 2021. Okay. And 2020, we talked about 2020 a lot being the year of not knowing what was going on, and I look at my life and I look at this now, the 6th annual Cerebral Palsy virtual conference. Now you look at what virtual has done and how Miss Winnie has grabbed a hold of that and just been on top of it. I mean, just working, trying to get guests in and sending out emails and all of it. We do a lot to get this conference ready, but this lady is just amazing in the fact that she can and she does bring out the best in people. She brings out the best in people even when they don't see it. And she pushes you just a little bit harder to be your best when you think you've pushed yourself to your limit or you get comfortable within your limit. She finds a way to move you just a little bit more. She finds a way to open you up just a little bit more. And last year, if you remember, we had the first ever virtual conference. And that in itself was 8 days. 8 days of wonderful, wonderful time. So let me go ahead and bring Ms. Wilson in real quick. I want to bring her to the stream here. Yep. Always got the perfect timing. And I had to talk for a little bit because I wanted to give her time to get here. Uh-oh, I can hold on. I can't hear you. Yep. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you, Miss Wilson. Yep. Hold on. She had to come out for a second. We'll come back in. No, I don't think so either. I think she's the type of person. That really when she wants to get something done, it's the type of thing when she's got her mind set to something. Oh, she's gonna run it, and she's gonna run it the way she wants to run it, and she's got the ability to do it because she sees the vision and she sees the big picture. That's the thing about Edwina Wilson that inspires me. She inspires so many people and she inspires so many, things to happen and get things in motion. But it's the little things, that she does that makes her so great. And I say that because this woman does everything. I mean, she's one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum, in the middle of the spectrum, and she's still smiling the whole time. And it never seems to lose a step, but talking about from the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th last year, making it virtual. And then She does all of that, and that was 8 days. That was a long conference, but it was so powerful. So without further ado, one of the greatest and most inspiring women. And if y'all read the bio on the flyer, the bio on the flyer, Lord have mercy, the bio on the flyer that I created for this week, every word of it was true. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO and founder of Kelly's Choice and the creator of this wonderful conference, Miss Edwina Wilson. How are you, Miss Wilson?
I'm great, DJ. I'm great.
Whew.
Let me tell you what happened. So I had my speaker hooked up and I forgot. So I'm like, I can't hear him. I can't even hear myself. So I forgot to turn the speaker on.
I was going for 8 minutes about you, Miss Wilson. I was going. I was just talking about, this is so amazing. I look at the 6th annual conference, and before I even get into anything, I got one question for you that I just when this first came about, you talked a little bit about the first conference, looking back at the first conference and what we've accomplished and you've accomplished now, and all the people who helped you. How beneficial is it that you get to see this where it is now? Just with the CP conference being virtual and 2021, can you believe it? I mean, is it mind-boggling at times for you?
Actually, it's not. It came so fast though. Like when I first realized, oh, I need to start posting this, and then it was like March is here. It seemed like I just did it. But it's great to do these type of things to bring awareness to those that don't know about whether it's cerebral palsy or any disability, and to educate people. But what's most important is it goes to show that cerebral palsy has so many levels, but at the same time, everybody's story is so different.
Yes,
so you never know whose story can help the next person. And that's exactly why I really like to do these things. Plus, of course, my daughter Kelly has cerebral palsy. So that's where this all came from,
What as far as the conference itself, and this is a little bit of behind the scenes. Nikki says, "Hey, Mama." I said earlier, I said, you do so much for others, and this, you're able to see the big picture. Right off the bat, when you did this, did you know how big it was going to get and how many? Because I remember last year they were emailing you through the 8 days when it was over. I said, dang, she's still getting them.
Man, it was great though. I really just jumped out. I just stepped out on faith. I was like, you know what? Since I can't do it local, which we was going to do local and virtual anyway, but not so many people because it was one day.
Right.
But when they said, hey, they shut down everything, I sit there one day and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Friday to Friday. And I just did it.
Woo.
I did not know how it would turn out, but I trust the process. And every day it was filled. Every slot was filled every single day. So it was amazing, but we got to reach everybody, DJ. It was global.
That was what was so amazing about it. There were so many people.
Yeah.
And I think the virtual opened up a whole new door.
Yeah.
If we, the virtual itself, people exploded when that happened, when that came about, and there's not a lot of things that I look at this all this mess that went on this 2020 2021, and I say, man, I'm really thankful for that. But this virtual was big before, but now it's like everywhere. Crystal said, if we have a disability, let's see, I wish you could choose which one, like CP. Lol, because I'd choose one with folks who have fun and make things happen. That, I understand that. But I tell you, that's what's great about this conference, because we have fun and we do make things happen. this conference, in my opinion, last year changed lives. It was.
Well, Crystal, you could come on and be a speaker. How about that? Send us an email.
Yep.
We'd love to have you.
I talked to her 3 days ago. I said, if you want to be a speaker, send it to Ms. Wilson, and gave her the Kelly's Choice Cares email.
Just send us a message. That's it.
And we still have some spots left, but not many. So y'all need to get that in there first. Kelly's Choice Cares at gmail.com. If you want to be a speaker, make sure you send your topic 2 days and 2 times so that we can pick one to get you in the schedule, because it's going to fill up fast. And y'all going to say, dang, I missed it. Don't miss this opportunity. And there are a lot of people, and I'm going to say this, if you're worried about it, look, do it in fear. There's a first time for everything, a first step for everything. And if someone hears your story and gets touched, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show too, there are stories that people, the jaw dropping, one where you got to pick up your jaw off the floor. And I'm telling you, Crystal, you got a jaw dropper. Get in there, type that little email in, and come on out, let it roll. I mean, I'm not trying, you've got to, and I think, with public speaking, everybody gets nervous. It's just like, I don't want to speak in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk. Just share what's on your heart. Look at you wearing your nice hat, Ms. Wilson, all good to go. Got matching everything. Every time you're on my show, I just smile because you got everything hat. There you go with it. But I'm just proud of you, because I know behind the scenes, and this is kind of what I want to talk about. Thank you, Nikki, for putting that in. The behind the scenes work that this takes, the scheduling, the time slots, going through and make sure. We had some technical difficulties last year, but because I was able to co-host with you all 8 days. And I was almost all 8. I think I missed like 1. But to be able to work with you, and when technology decides to go, ain't nothing you can do except keep going. And
that's what we did.
Talking about a powerful story, I remember particularly Shamika. And she tried to get on, and the laptop would freeze. And she tried to get on, and the laptop, and she came on a 3rd time. And when she came on a 3rd time, she killed it. I have never seen a 4-minute story be so powerful. That's one of the moments I was taken back, because I have never really heard her open up like that. And it was in that moment that I went, wait a minute. This right here is the most powerful thing from her I've ever heard. And see, that's the thing about you. I talked a little bit before you got on. You have this profound ability. If people are next to you, I don't know if it's an energy transfer, or you touch them on the shoulder, or you walk by and look at them. I think it's a combination of all 3, but you bring out the best in people, and it's like almost like getting a fire started. You got all the preparation, you got all the wood and all the tinder and all the paper and all. You're the gasoline, man, because you get near it and it just, I'm like, dang. I have never in my life seen more people get fired up when they get around you. And I've especially in public, you just light people, you give people a spark. And I've said that several times, but that's another behind the scenes part of it, is the energy that has to go into all this. It's tiring. It's a lot of work. How in the world could you ain't got no IV or caffeine, nothing. You just go right on through. And I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta want it, right? Mm-hmm. You gotta have passion behind it. You gotta want to help the people, be there for the people. So my thing is, if I put on this event, my heart is really in it, because I wouldn't have done it as long as I had if I was like, let's just do it and get it over. That's not me. I really have passion about this. And I love the fact of giving people opportunities to share their story, their journey, testimony, because I truly believe that everybody's story can help somebody. It's somebody out there for everybody. And the world is waiting for you. So the world is waiting for you, Crystal, and you, JP, and you, Josh, and anybody else that haven't been on it. They're waiting for you. Trust me, they are. Listen, there are so many people like Lena and Jill and Nikki that just did it and never did it before, but they were afraid. They had a little fear in it, but they did it because they knew they had something to share with others. And when you know this, you do it without any fear at all. You just come on here, you speak in it because it's you. It's your journey. It's your message. So because it's your message, you can't deny that. You cannot mess up on your message. So my passion is really in it, and that's why I go so long with it.
Well, and see, passion, when you give all of yourself, it's an amazing thing to see something. It's a difference when Edwina Wilson puts on an event, you know it's an Edwina Wilson event because you got to go to it. You're drawn to it because she promote that joker from the beginning of it to the middle of it to the end. And that's when I got hooked up with Kelly's Choice almost 4 years ago now. I started seeing just the little things, the little nuances, flyers every week. I'm like, okay, and you don't just see a flyer on one place. You see it everywhere she go. Flyer pop, flyer pop, flyer pop. I'm like, okay, dang. Then you go to the event and you see the design and the color and the scheme and the people behind the scenes that help you, the photographers and the interviewers. That right there, like that right there. When I went with I think it was either the Caregivers Gala with Steve, where I broke Caregivers Gala. Just putting an event together like that, everything came together from the napkins on the table to the whole venue. And the CP conference is the same way. We had food. I could have passed out. I ate so much food. I said, Lord have mercy. I could have just been just out because it was good though, because here's what a lot of people don't realize, I think. When you are able to interact with people that have the same disability as you learn things. You learn things together as a people. And it's always great to talk with somebody who gets it. It's always great to be with another person to say, you know what, when I lift my leg up and it starts to spasm in everywhere and I'm trying to figure out why. And somebody says, yeah, mine does that too. And it brings you together, and it's an icebreaker of just not being alone. And I think that is what your conference teaches. It teaches people to get up, get out, go for it, and not be alone. I love that. I think that is just a piece of brilliant. It's a piece of brilliant thought. I don't know, how, when you came up with it, how the whole thing just turned, but it's brilliance. It's sheer brilliance when you get it done.
For some reason, I hear you talking, but I don't see you. I think I found you.
Okay, I don't know.
We're here because my laptop is touchscreen, so I hit something and it just took me out. But I'm back.
Okay. I didn't know what happened. I saw your face get real close, and I'm like, what did you do?
It changed cameras. It went from my camera from my laptop to my Logitech.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it was, but we still with you, and we got you, Ms. Money. Go right on ahead. Like we said, technology gonna do what it's gonna do. It's all right.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I'm so proud to be part of this, and one person that sticks out in my mind talking about doing it in fear was Kyle Russo. I remember that dude, and there's a reason I'm bringing him up, and this is just when you do something like this for the first time and you share your story and talk about something that you want to talk about, this is, I mean, he talked about his crutches and how he did the research to find it because doctors told him that this crutch wasn't going to work and this crutch wasn't. He went on that and researched it himself and said, let me see how this is going to be. Let me see how this is going to look. Let me see how this is going to go. Now that he's done that, he came in and it's just, his story was powerful because he did it himself. When Miss Edwina found him, she found him on YouTube because of his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel, My Disabled Experience, has over 10,000 views since that conference last year. So you want to talk about a build-up and what he's doing now?
Yeah.
You think about a caterpillar eating a leaf, crawl into that tree, building that cocoon.
Right.
That change, going into a butterfly and flying away, and the life changes forever. That's what happened to Kyle. And Kyle's going to speak again. But would you, I mean, is there somebody that just, I mean, it doesn't even have to be one person in particular. Is there something that sticks out in your mind about somebody that kind of was the same way? Or, I mean, what is
of course, Lena.
Mm-hmm.
Lena has never spoken before, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, she's bloomed since she's spoken.
Sure enough.
She's bloomed. She's more confident. She know who she is as a person. She know her worth. Mm. You know, she's learning more to accept Lena more, forget those people that have negative things to say about her, and learning to just ignore those things and keep growing. Cal has bloomed even more. He had it in him already. He just never released it.
That's
so
what
sometimes it only takes one time to just say, okay, I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. And believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself that you have it and you could deliver your message. Like I said, you can't go wrong with delivering your message, you know. So he did that, and he's been just blooming and just going. I'm just loving all of y'all. Like, just, I'm loving it. Nikki came afraid, but she did it, you know, and she's still, you know, getting up on other people's platforms. And the more you do it, the more you open up, the more that fear disappears. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You'll be unstoppable after that.
Let me just say this. I'm so glad you talked about that, because I want to mention something. And I got to ask you this question, because I still, to this very day, don't know how you see stuff and other people just like, I didn't even know. Kyle told me, I remember we were talking about it, because we just had this big conversation, like, Miss Winnie will see something before I see it. Like, and I'm the same way. I'm like, how in the, we don't let go, so I can't say that. How in the world does she see the, like, inside of the person? It's like you can see inside of the person and what they have before they see it. But then once they see it and then they realize it, that's that point where you're like, dang. You know, Kyle is, when he speaks now, and you, like you said, it was in him, but he brought it. I feel like you brought it out because you gave him the opportunity to speak, and then he went boom and just exploded, just like you talked about. How do you do that? How do you see it in people first when they don't even see it?
You know, the thing is that, so when I talk to someone frequently or interact with them frequently, I see what's in them because I can hear it. And when I hear those power words, I'm like, wait a minute. You're doing so much more. Why are you hiding it? So we need to bring that out of you. And here I am, you know, I'm just suggesting. I'm just suggesting, though. All I can do is suggest. But it's up to you all to do whatever you so desire to do. But again, when you have something great in you, let it shine. Just let it go. What you don't want to do is be that person that wish they had said this and wish they had shared that, because now you see this person that was a part of this, they're down or something's going on, but your message could have helped them. Your message could have picked them up or encouraged them somehow.
Yep.
Because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are experiencing on a daily basis, because people don't like to talk about it.
Exactly.
But they do listen. And I tell y'all all the time, you'd be surprised of those that's listening, but just don't click the picture to let you know that they are on there.
Miss Winnie,
you don't even know it.
Miss Winnie got me on that one. Not even 2 weeks ago. Miss Winnie, numbers, my numbers. She said, stop worrying about numbers. And I realized, I tell you, she said, they don't, some of them will watch but not click. And you're on Let Go Radio. You don't know who's listening to you. There could be somebody from the other side of the world.
That's right.
I meant like, and you don't think about it, but it's really, that's what I'm talking about. That's those hidden pieces.
Yeah.
A lot of times Miss Winnie will say something and I'll write something down, and she's forever writing notes everywhere. Miss Winnie got notes over here, notes over there. She got 12 notebooks. but she can go back and she listens. And that's where Miss Winnie will get you, because you say, no, what I said was, she said, no, let me just go back to my notes. And you said this, and this. Yep. Dang. But I'm talking about Lena. Just when a person speaks at this conference that you created, I'm gonna say this. I think they realize that they're without limits. Once they get a chance to speak and they see the power within themselves and the power of what they're doing to inspire other people and reach other people, that breaks the boundaries away from them. We put limits on ourselves.
Yes.
So often. I can't do that. And I don't speak in front of people. There's a first time for everything. And as long as you give what's in here, it's and I love this. This right here, your journey. Miss Wilson has talked about her journey, but here's the thing. She says, and I quote, each person has their own specific journey. That's what makes it yours. And in Lena growing, coming out of her shell. I don't speak in front of people. And learning how to just be. She broke away. Once she broke away that shell, she truly did stand tall like a draft, just like her mother said. Just like her mother said. And when you see her now, there is an excitement in her eyes when she meets with us on Fridays or on Sundays now. Sorry, but it's it's just different to see her. And there's one other person I want to bring up, and I talked a little bit about her earlier, Shamika. You've known Shamika for a long time, and you've seen her at her lowest low, and I think she's really coming into her explosion of herself, because she has gotten out and gotten up and started promoting and pushing and inspiring, because when she speaks, that girl knows her stuff. She knows her words.
Oh man, she does. She's awesome. I just post I love my memories, right? You don't see me on Facebook. You're going to see me about 11, 12 o'clock at night posting my memories. And it could be 11:45 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forget my memories. I don't like to forget my memories. I like to see where things have come from to where you are now. I like to see my journey of where I was to where I'm at now. And that could mean my personal, Kelly's personal, or the things I've done. So I like to see those things, even messages, even different posts and flyers and all those things, because truly those things do matter. You can look at those things and you can see if you're still stagnated,
right,
or if you're growing.
Exactly.
It will let you know. It really would.
Yep.
But Shamika, Kelly and Shamika went to school. They went to high school together. And you know, we go a long way back. So yeah, I've seen Shamika progress. Like, man, she just went from not being able to do a whole lot physically. Nothing was ever wrong with that mind. But physically, you know, she was more challenged then than she is now.
Right.
And I created this program that I have not released yet, but I am going to release it. I created this program based off of Shamika and got her parents' permission, you know, to do so.
I remember
because it's in recognition of Shamika because of her progress.
Right.
You know, what got me was one day she was at therapy and she said, only if I wish I could walk one day, or it was only if I can walk. It was, I know it was that it was either only if I could walk or if I could only walk one day. That thing did something to me, you know, and I was like, so everything about that one message, and then looking at her progress from where she was to where she was at that moment, and she was in a walker at that moment, and just thinking about how ungrateful some people are that is able to walk, is able to do these things by themselves. She needs 24-hour care, you know, even though it's nothing wrong for her mind, but she still needs physical care.
Right.
So you got a lot of people, and I'm just saying, being real, some people are ungrateful that they're walking. You got people like Shamika, only if I could walk one day.
Want it so bad.
Just want it.
So bad.
And that determination she has and that persistence she has is a kick butt. Oh, she's nonstop. Nonstop. And the words come out, they flow well and in the right perspective, in the right manner, and so on point. You know,
you said earlier, grateful. Shamika is grateful for the help that she has. Shamika is grateful when she's so thankful and so grateful for everything that she gets and that she works towards. It really, the message about, particularly when she said, I want to be able to contribute to my household. Last year, that was when it shook my world. And I mean, I want to go home. I want to go to the store. I want to get a carton of milk off the shelf and bring it. Bring a carton of milk home to my family. Now you think about that. Something that simple. That's a goal for her. And she will achieve that goal. This girl is in the middle of going to college, in the middle but she wants her family to realize that she wants to contribute, and that something as simple as bringing home a carton of milk or a carton of butter or
a loaf of bread, you know, like just imagine those little tiny things. She just want to be able to go to the store and contribute to those little things. But you got some people that's complain, oh, I don't feel like going to get no bread. Oh, I don't feel like going to do this. But you got this one person that has a physical challenge that just want to contribute, because don't get me wrong, I love my parents. I want to do for my parents. I wish they didn't have to do these things for me.
Right.
But at the same time, I want to contribute to the household. But I can't like that.
Right.
You know, so hearing her say those things was like, wow. And imagine.
You could tell that she was pouring from the heart.
She was sincere, truly sincere.
You know, and you said people take things for granted. You know, to pop up out of a chair and walk to the kitchen and get a cup of coffee and bring it to somebody else. That's Shamika. That's what she wants. She wants to serve others. And when she finished with that message, it took everything I had not to break. Because you can feel true sincerity when it's something that's been on your mind and it's been up there. And she kept that up there in that compartment, that compartmentalized box. And when she brought that out just at that time, I'm like, please don't cut off. Please don't cut off. Because that message, it was perfect timing.
Yes.
I hoped that her family heard that. Because then when her family heard that, they would think, wow, my daughter wants to do this, you know, and it means that much to her. I remember the first time, one of the first things I wanted to do, when I was little, somebody would go out and cut the grass, and I said, I want to cut the grass. We had a push mower. My friend Travis, he said, you want to cut the grass? And I said, yeah. He said, all right, start it up. So I started up the lawnmower. I held on to it, and he pushed my manual chair, and I held on to the lawnmower and pushed that lawnmower across the yard and cut the grass. But I never had done it before. I cut 2 sections, but Travis is just wringing wet, sweating from pushing me. And I was happy because I cut the grass. But I turned around and I said, without you, that wouldn't have been possible.
Wow.
He said, no, I was just a piece of the movement. You cut the grass. I said, yeah, but you were the motion behind me cutting it. I want to be as grateful as Shamika is. One day I hope to get to that level, because I am grateful for things. But to be as grateful as she is, to see what she went through to get to that one point, to want that so badly, that's a powerful statement. I mean, to be able to really want something as simple as bringing home a loaf of bread, but it doesn't become simple. It's all in where you are in your own individual journey. Like, I'm good where I am, but I have far to go. You know, and I know that. And I know that now, partly because of the woman sitting here. I'm not done. I'm not nearly done. This is just a piece of it. You know, I'm so thankful for what I've done so far, but I'm thinking about what's going to happen next. And that, when you're a box thinker, and I'm telling you guys right now, I was one thing, that's all, that's it. My CP does not define me, that's all. I was in there. I had the YouTube channel. I had the day on Wednesday, 2:00. I was good. I was comfortable. Miss Wilson said, I need you to do more. Wait a minute, more? What are you talking about?
Well, not need, day DJ, not need.
I would like to see you do. I mean, but it just I was, you know, when you get out of that comfort zone, it's scary the first time. Like, I'm all the way out here. I'm exposed. I got this, and this. Dang, Miss Wilson, what you talking about? And I remember that look about talking about Instagram. I had to work with it. I was gonna go set it up, be quick. I was just gonna get it over with. I was set it up. That joke, it took me 4 hours. I had to stop. And I ain't doing no more. I'm done. I said, no, but I thought about something. I always finish what I start. Always. I've always been. I don't quit. Well, let me say this. I very, 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 very rarely quit on something. And when I finished that, she's, I want you to start an Instagram and this and this. And I'm like, have you lost your mind? I had this look on my face like, but I'm so grateful for that push, because sometimes that's what it takes. People get used to and get comfortable with, and they feel safe. Sometimes you got to come out of that, and people become afraid of what sometimes you got to do something in fear just to do it and accomplish it. And look at how you feel afterwards. I love how my vision is here versus here now. Yeah. That's the difference. Looking at the big picture, going, all right, we got the conference coming up. We got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, we got this. Did I call this person? Did I move this? Did I do this? What else can I do? Call Miss Winnie. Make sure you got. And it's just that the way of thinking where I'm not boxed in. It just becomes. Do you think that's like comparable with a disability, especially CP? Do you think a lot of people box themselves in?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are afraid of what people want to say, how people are going to look at them. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of them are just afraid of just coming out of that one box they've been in forever that they know so well. Mm-hmm. But everyone, even in the midst of all of that, it's sad because so many have so much greatness in them, so much greatness in them, and you can deliver so much more to so many people if you come out of that box. It's just sometimes you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. So get out of that comfort zone so you can get in that space
Yeah.
where you can shine and deliver those messages that's already in you.
Now, I got to go back to something because I saw a look on your face, and I want to make sure I address this because I always watch your expression. When I was talking about, being as grateful as Shamika is, I saw that head turn, and I saw you look at me like, really? Like, what was your thought behind that? And I because I'm just being real, I'm being honest. I love when you express, your expression is one thing, and I want to make sure I understand where you're coming from because we're always learning that, and this is a learning experience.
Right. Okay, so when I was going to say something,
Okay.
because when you said about distributor, what her just want to be distribute to, and you mentioned right after that, I just want to be. And I was like, but you are a distributor already. You contribute to already.
Right.
So it's not that part of it. It's just, it's on a personal level. It's more on a personal level.
How so?
It's more on a personal level. Let's talk about that outside before we go inside.
But you see what I mean? These are the nuggets of information that I grab onto, and you'll notice I'll get real quiet when I get nervous, and not so much that I did something wrong, but I'm trying to see. Sometimes your way of thinking is so big, and you've said this, it even scares you to where you're like, really? You want me to do this? What? Like, and that's I've had that some, but I try to focus on not to copy or be in your way of thinking, but a lot of times our way of thinking can shut us down. And if I miss it, I want to grab that nugget of information. I love the fact, and I'll say this just to kind of get it out there. About a month ago, well, actually, it's been a little bit over a month now. Miss Wilson suggested that we do a thought box for the end of the day. Take an index card, and every day.
Or a piece of paper if you don't have an index card.
Or just a piece of paper or a little notebook, throw a piece of paper in there, get a little box, and throw your thought in there. Date it, time it, and put, the year, all that. Make sure you got all that in there because you want to go back and look at them. I started that a month ago. My roommate will come out. Did you do your thought? Did you do your thought? Yeah, I did it. And I'm thinking, I'm like, so I went in there. I said, why don't you try? He's like, no, I ain't going to do that. I'm like, what? You don't be afraid of it. And the cool thing is, sometimes when you feel like today I ain't do nothing. Sometimes I slept till noon. Sometimes that's a thought. But I really, I was on the phone with Miss Winnie the other day. And she said, and forgive me if I don't quote it exactly right, does CP have a look? And if so, what is CP supposed to look like?
Right.
And she was on the phone, and I literally blanked out. Like that thought stuck in my head. And I'm sitting there talking to her, and I'm looking at my index card, and it's blank. I go, Miss Winnie, I'm taking that. I'm putting that in my box. Because let me tell you what I did after that, after I got off the phone. I went in my room that now has my new desk, by the way. Gotta tell y'all about that. Anyway, I went in my room and I literally turned on my computer and I typed in Google, does disability or cerebral palsy have a look? And when I clicked on picture, up in the right-hand corner, I saw all these pictures. I sat there for 30 minutes and I clicked on every single picture and I looked at every single pose that they had. There were walkers, there were wheelchairs, there were hand positions, there were foot positions, there were braces, but it was all different. It was all different. And I thought about this to the point where my head was swimming with all these things about, and Miss Winnie has said, each case of cerebral palsy is different. It's different.
No one person has it alike.
And you know, this conference that's coming up, this is your time to be different. Don't be like everybody else. Step outside of your box for once in your life and make something happen. People telling you can't, people telling you won't, prove them wrong. You can talk about what is on your heart in your journey with your disability that you face. Shana Thomas is another one. Powerful. Go look at the past conferences. If you don't have any idea what this is about, they are on my page. They're on Miss Winnie's page. Go find them. I went through my memories. What happened? I posted from last year, from 3 years ago. Go look at these things and realize some of these stories. Brownisha Blackman, Lena, Kyle, Bibiana. Go look at some of these people. And
South Africa.
I mean, if nothing else, challenge yourself. You want to make a difference. You got to start with the first step. You got to start with the first step. Whether it's confidence, whether it's fear, whatever it is in your mind, do it. Do it. Because once you get it done, think about how much better you're going to feel. And you're going to go, I just did that. I just did that for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember Nikki last year when she was done. I can't wait till next year. I want to speak again. It gives you something to look forward to. I am so excited about this. That's why I'm glad I got the boss lady on today, because I looked at 5230. I said, no, we might go a little more. But I'm just so excited that she had the heart to do this. I mean, because this right here changes lives. This platform, this chance, this opportunity can change your life. And it can be a springboard for your next vision or opportunity. Some of these comments about Kimberly said, I'm emailing you about it. Nikki said, do it, folks. You know, let's see. Miss Edwina said, I came out kicking and winning. That's a good one there. But
who said that?
Nikki. Oh. Yeah. And if nothing else, give yourself a chance to define your inner you. So many people, they miss out on an opportunity because they think, I'm gonna give a chance to somebody else. What about your story? What if you could touch a life so deeply that you can inspire them to speak, or you can inspire them to set up a platform, or start a daycare, or something of that, right? What if you could push them to their next level based on something that you said? How would you feel knowing you impacted someone's life that much? Get out of your own way.
Right.
I ain't gonna give y'all too much of that one, but that's coming. But no, I love it, because you only limit yourself by not trying. The only opportunities you miss are the ones you don't take. Take this opportunity to make a difference within yourself and to push someone else to the next level. I have seen Miss Winnie I have seen Miss Winnie push somebody to the next level with 3 words. And I'm going to tell you what those 3 words are. When she asked me to start all this stuff, I looked at her and I said, I ain't got time for that. She looked at me and said 3 words. Yes, you do. Now I'm going to say for a moment after she said that, I said, this gonna lost her mind. But here's the thing. Once you get out of yourself and you stop and think about what someone tells you, they're telling you for your own good. If she knows it's there, if she's going to see one snippet of me moving from place to place, why can't I try it? Why not? I look at it now. I thank you for that, Kimberly. I appreciate that. I did. I did. I whipped my eyes right on around, Nikki. I sure did. I said, this woman has lost her mind. But I stopped. And I did take it. I took life by the horns then. And I look now at my life, and it's getting bigger and getting better. And there's more and more and more. And it's only going to continue to grow. But you have to nurture it. See, and that's what Miss Winnie is. She's a nurturer of an individual. She will suggest in such a way, you might get a little mad. You might go, did you just? And she's, and she knows it too. But she's good at it.
Let me say this, DJ. Let me say this real quick. So the thing is that everybody has 24 hours in a day. Your whole 24 hours is not packed. It just isn't. It just isn't. However, if you write down, I say this, write down in 1 week. From today, start writing down every day from now, what's the day, Wednesday to next Wednesday, and see what you do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Just write down what you do every single day and just see how much of that space you have open.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a lot of time open.
Yeah,
if you don't work 8 hours in a day, then you're open 8 hours already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you don't have something special going on via virtual, or now they're opening up some companies and stuff.
Right.
If you don't have any of those things going on, those are times you have available. So we're quick to respond and think we don't have time for things, but we really do.
If you make it.
If you make it, it's called balance yourself too. Mm-hmm. Balance your life out. If you want to be great, if you want greatness, if you want to shine, if you want to become this influencer, they don't do it and stop. They're consistent every single day. And they're doing something every single day. Whether they're creating it to put it out or they're doing live, they're doing something to become that influencer every single day. Because to become an influencer, one, you got to be consistent. You got to be passionate. You got to want it.
Right.
You got to just go for it. You got to find something every day to do to match in whatever it is that you're making that purpose behind. So when it's cooking, guess what? You got to get creative. You got to cook every day, or do a show and have those lined up. Bam, bam, bam. Even if you say, you know what? Okay, I'm going to take next week off. So this week, I'm going to do 5 shows and I'm going to prepare them for next week. So next week, I don't have to do anything.
Right. You're still being consistent with everything.
You're still being consistent because you're going to post them every day next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So is you always have time to do something. And then that next week, because you already did these 5 days, that next week, if it's something else you're doing, a blog or whatever it is you're doing.
And you're still spacing them out. You're still spacing them out.
You're still spacing them out.
And not.
Well, it's just really finding time and making that time. But just if you really write it down, you can see, and you can see how you can put these things together. To a blog. I told DJ, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. But at the same time, you don't have to overwhelm yourself because you don't have to do a blog every day. You can do a blog once a week or twice a week, or every other week.
Where I was thinking I had to do it every day. You can get overwhelmed if you let yourself. But I realized just like
even if you do a blog every day and you found that space to do it in, you're not going to overwhelm yourself because you've already figured it out.
Right.
And they don't have to be a book. It could be a short message that can kick butt. And think about when you get those short messages, title is bam, so you got to think about that title. You want that title that's going to, oh man, let me read this. You want that title that's going to make a person open it up, want to open it and want to see what this is about. Man, what they talk about? What? You want that. You want that. Let me do this. That's what you want. So title is everything. And if you have a 2-minute message, you want that 2-minute message to be the best 2-minute message ever. So it's all about putting it together, brainstorming, and just going for it. Just think about it. Every day you're thinking of something. Every day we're thinking of something different every day.
Right.
Are you writing those things down that you think about? Because you're not going to always remember those things that you're thinking about.
That's important.
Right.
When you have a thought, because Miss Winnie, you said sometimes you'll be sitting there at night, kind of just watching TV or taking care of Kathleen, and some will come to your mind. Grab that recorder, grab that notebook, write it down, because come back to it. That's where those inspirational quotes come from. Now, I said this because I got one more question from Miss Winnie, and I saved this to the end of the show. Now, I told you she's a big thinker, and I saved this question for last because I've never asked her the question that I'm about to ask her. But I'm going to see them eyes get big. Watch. Now, all of these conferences, this is the 6th annual. And you look at all the conferences that you've helped put together in the past. How big do you see this getting? How big do you want this to get? Is there a limit to it? How big is it going to get according to Edwina Wilson and what she sees?
Well, I don't want to put a number on it at all. I never want to put a number on that because everything fluctuates. It fluctuates. So but it fluctuates. However, the more you do it, the more consistent you are year after year after year. Somebody different going to see it. Then they're going to share with somebody else. And then that person going to share with somebody else. That's what you always want to believe. Somebody's going to see it. You got to post, share. I wanted to get as big as it can. I don't want to put a limit on it. One year might be smaller than the next year.
Right.
So you really never know, but you just continue to do it. I do it without anything in my thoughts, anything in my mind. I just do it and say whatever and whoever shows up this time, they're meant to be here. That's how I always leave it.
Okay. There's kind of a second part to that question because I want to make sure to say these two things. There's a phrase that you say that I've adopted, and I have it written down. I have it posted on my desk, and you said, "Speak those things that are not as though they are." And I was not in a negative space, but I started to say something, and I remember it was about the house, and you stopped me dead in my tracks. I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." Oh no. It was about my chair getting the
just a couple days ago.
And you stopped me, boom, and I'm like, dang, she stopped me that quick. I have to mention this. You are the only person, and I can say this beyond the shadow of a doubt, that I've ever seen I've never heard you say anything negative about anybody. I've never heard you how, I don't know, this may be a whole nother hour show, but I don't care. I got unlimited internet. How do you not allow negativity in your life at all? How did you learn to stop it? Because most people that are watching this right now, when you answer this question, you got to know Miss Winnie really to know what I'm talking about. She does not allow it in her space at all. It's like she'll attack it with Lysol. No. And she'll literally push it away, but speak those things that are not as though they are. And I say that phrase more now because she has taught me that. And when she says it, it clicks back to when I remember when she first said it. I'm like, dang, if you want something, speak it into existence, but don't speak negativity into existence because you're giving a foothold that you don't need. How did you do that? How did you completely just, you squash it? And I've never seen anybody squash it.
You know, I do that for my kids. Don't come in my ear with anything negative. We're going to turn that thing around. Okay. So we're going to always turn it around. Negativity is just what it is. And it could become you. You don't want what you speak out of your mouth to become you. The more you speak it, because that tongue is a powerful thing. That tongue is a powerful thing. You got to be careful of the words you speak.
Words are powerful. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The words you speak, you got to be careful of because you can bring that thing right into existence, especially if you speak it out in the universe. Mm-hmm. If you speaking those things in the universe, guess what? That thing going to manifest right in you, and it's going to give you what you ask for. So another thing, you got to be specific in what you ask for as well. So you speak those things as not as though they are. Claim what you want. Mm-hmm. Don't start. Well, I know if for instance,
go ahead.
Kelly's yesterday, her appointment yesterday, and I did the live yesterday because I said, you know what, I'm gonna just be very personal with this appointment today. Mm-hmm. And it kind of at the end, when I got in my car, I got kind of sad because as I looked at Kelly, mm-hmm. it made me kind of sad because I know she tried so hard, but she just couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And it made me sad to realize and understand how much she tried mm-hmm. to do certain things, and she can't reach that. Mm-hmm. But she gave it her all. So when I see Kelly giving her all, the one thing you want to give yourself credit for is at least you tried. You won't know if you don't try. Mm-hmm. You just won't know. So if you don't reach it, guess what? You can say, at least I tried. And I don't think you can't try it again because it can stay in your mind. Mm-hmm. You can build your confidence up. Mm-hmm. You can build your power up. You can build all those things up to say, you know what, I'm going to try this one more time. Mm-hmm. Maybe not one more time. I'm going to try it again. Again.
Because one more
time. Maybe you might get a little further this time than you did the last time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you still might not reach it.
Right.
Now you're going to give up again.
Right.
So sometimes you can keep going until you get it. Mm-hmm. Or you can give up and say, forget it. You know, it's up to the individual person themselves.
Look at it. Mm-hmm.
So, right. So the contacts Kelly needed yesterday, they're special contacts, and they're $2,500. These contacts, the people said at the office that her insurance company would not pay it because they had another patient that needed the same contacts, the same eye disease, and their insurance company, which is the same insurance company Kelly has, mm-hmm. this is what they said to me. Mm-hmm. They didn't pay for it. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay.
Y'all know I said okay the same time.
So that don't mean that the same thing going to happen with us. It don't mean that. Mm. So I thought about that thing and I thought about that thing and I called them.
Put it through.
And I said, listen, put it through. Put it through. Write a letter. Have the doctor write a letter saying why it's necessary. Mm-hmm. My gosh, people, it's a medical necessity. Yes. Kelly has a rare eye condition that's progressive. Mm-hmm. How you not just say, well, let me put it through anyway with this letter and see what they do. But that's okay. Because Miss Wilson called and say, listen, put it through, but attach a letter from the doctor why it's necessary.
And
This is a medical condition.
That's important.
Yes, very important, DJ. You always want to have something attached to it from the doctor explaining why this is necessary, why this individual need this, how it's going to change their life, how it's going to improve their life, how it's going to impact them for the rest of their life. Because this is a progressive disease. It could ruin her life for the rest of her life if she don't get these contacts. Put them contacts through. God is my living witness. I took a screenshot of the day they called me, and I got the screenshot of the day I made that call. It was less than 30 days. Less than 30 days, they approved that. So they approved the contacts, but they did not approve the fitting, which is $400. Then I get in there yesterday. They wanted me to pay an additional $25 because they said she didn't have, because she had her legs exam in a particular exam in August. So they needed to do this again. So I said, okay. Because in my mind, even if we have to pay for this up front, guess what? We're going to get reimbursed on that. Because now, see, Optima, now listen to me, y'all. Optima, the insurance company, paid the $2,500. Medicaid is going to pay the $425. Sometimes we forget about that Medicaid. If you have Medicaid or secondary insurance, the rest of it you take to the secondary insurance.
Right. But a lot of insurances, they will say, we're not going to pay for it because they don't want you to put it in. They're pushing you away, and it's the people that don't try or don't get that letter attached from their doctor that says this is why. That is so important. Having a doctor in your corner that knows what to write and what exactly the disease is, a specialist that is good at that can write it and get it done, that's going to make, that's going to make it happen. And you got to fight. You got to fight for what you want.
Man, I'm going to tell you, you can't let go because that's an expense that could go on something else. Okay. So you're talking about $425.
It's a lot.
It's like when she called me, when I had that appointment with Kelly's support coordinator.
Oh, I remember
when I had that call with them, and I thought about it, I said, well, let me put this aside and put this aside. So I'm building it, putting this aside, because I said, she going on that appointment real soon. She going to have that appointment. But the beauty of that, I ain't had to pay the $425. I ain't have to pay it. So to God be the glory, it ain't come out of my pocket.
Thank God. Sheena just said, look at God. You go, Miss Wilson.
Right. And then we had somebody else looking out for us. So I sent a message to her father, letting her father know this is what's going on, and, we got to do this, and, they pay for this. They're not paying for this and such. And he said, okay, well, let me know what happens. We get there, and I'm thinking to myself, same thing I told you, right? It's really the same thing, right? So I said, okay. I got there. I said, same thing. So he sent the money. I said, to God be the glory. To God be the glory. Thank you, Jesus. However, Medicaid going to pay for that. So when Medicaid pay for that and reimburse it, her case manager came by yesterday evening just for a pop-up visit. They were doing it virtual, but now they're doing just a not pop-up, but they want to come in front of your house, just to put eyes on you physically. So we went out on the porch, and he was asking how was her appointment, and so forth. And, so I was telling him about that, and I told him about the $425, the 400, then the $25. And he said, really? And I said, yeah. I said, and we had to pay for that. And I said, then after that, I said, I thought about Medicaid. And he said, yes, Miss Wilson, don't ever let one thing go to the wayside and feel like you have to pay it. Anytime something like that happens, always use Medicaid as the secondary, because when an insurance company don't pay, let Medicaid pay it. Send it to Medicaid. And then if there's a problem, call me and I know who to call. And I said, okay, no problem. He said, so you're going to get your refund. So her father going to get his refund.
Right.
He probably tell me to keep it, but he gonna get his refund.
And see that kind of, I told you there was a two-parter to this. You answered the first part. The second part is when you look at life right now and you look at the conference coming up, the people that help you, the people that are in your corner, the people behind the scenes, the photographers, the people that set up, the people that help with the Excel spreadsheet. How do you determine and what do you look for when you're trying to get those people in place to help you with a conference like this? Or, just like you were talking about with Kelly, the person that says, if this doesn't happen, call me and I'll know who to call. How do you get those people in place, and what do you look for in those people?
One thing, I'm very honest about everything. Okay. I'm going to just say I'm very honest about everything. You can't get nowhere cutting out.
Right.
You can't. Right. You have to let everything be known. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you feel embarrassed, if you feel ashamed, or what kind of feelings you may have, mm-hmm. or like, God, I don't want to share this part with them or share that part with them. How you want to get anything done if you don't let people know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How you going to do that? You can't. That means you're going to do it by yourself. That means you're going to do it by yourself, and you don't want to do that. Okay. Right. So for Kelly's case manager came by yesterday. I sure did tell him, and he sure did say what I said, exact thing, send it to Medicaid. Mm-hmm. And Ms. Wilson, if you have an issue, let me know, and I'll make a phone call. Mm-hmm. You bet. I will do that. The people for the gala, the caregivers gala. So when you're talking about a gala, you're talking about any event I put on, because it's the same thing. So the gala, you need speakers. So I got to look for speakers. I need a caterer. I need a venue. I need a DJ. Mm-hmm. I need an MC. I need a designer. To put the venue together. Mm-hmm. And I had vendors. At first, I didn't have vendors. That's 2020. 2019 was the first year I actually really, really had vendors. Because I really like to keep it intimate and just really everybody connected to one another. Right. Because with the Caregivers Gala, so many people go through so many things, but that connection that they could meet others and staying wherever, instead of vendors being there, you could connect to one another and build a village. Building a village is everything. Having support is everything. I get so many calls from people, and I ain't going to say what type of people, but I get calls from people. And I just have to say, I thank God, that people even look at me to talk or share or be there to have my ear open for them to just let it go.
Yeah.
And the reason I do that, DJ, is because when it was just me, I have nobody.
Right.
And I know how important it is to be able to release and share and let go, but have somebody you could trust and let it go with. That's important. When you could trust somebody to talk to and let it go, So the venue. And then you got a problem with all this stuff. So you'll put a price out there, right? And you got these people. Well, can I bring this person? And can I bring that person? Well, this is too much and this is too much. I got to pay the venue. I got to pay the caterer. I got to pay for the MC. You got to pay for the DJ. You got to pay for the food. Not just the caterer, but you got to pay for the food.
Right.
Okay. So it's so much. I got the cameras, the camera person, the videographer. I got to pay for all this stuff. All of that I have to pay for. So people want a shortcut. But I said to one person, I said, ma'am, I don't mean no harm. But you ain't going to call Ticketmaster and ask them, can they cut down on $100 and some ticket when you know you're going to purchase it? And the reason why I said it to that person is because I know they have. They paid $100 and some to go see somebody just come to the scope, but you don't want to pay my little fee.
you
just help with whatever to go to.
Talking about what you're talking about right now. I wish we had time, because I remember when you told me that first story of the first one, how everything came together right down to God's time, and about that last $500. And I was just like, and you've done this for a while, and you were sick.
I was sick. Yep.
You were sick as a dog.
I was sick that year.
Ms. Wilson, I say this, and I say this with so much respect. I admire you so much, and the effort that you put forth to do these type of things, and starting from the first one and the second one and the third one and the CB conferences, and they keep going and keep going. I just want to see you explode on many more platforms, and I know it's coming. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us before we close? I mean, I know we've been going a little bit, and I enjoy having you on my show so much, because you bring light to a lot of dark areas that people don't know about, and it is the support, and it does take a lot of work in. That's why I say, if those of you who have not been to Kelly's Choice Inc., go to kellyschoiceinc.org and go donate, because it does take money, and it does take time, and it does take effort to do these things. So if you're able to donate, and you know somebody who wants to donate, if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. But it takes those donators and the people that give money and give from your heart, guys, because this organization makes things happen. And I have seen Miss Wilson do things for people, and I go, how in the world did she do that? But it is so powerful to see her succeed, and then what she puts out touches people, and she continues to give and continues to give, and a lot of times reaches into her own pocket and gives and gives and gives.
Most of the time.
And you know what? She doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen her down. I mean, I've seen her tired, but I ain't seen her down. I mean, she just keeps going. So help where you can. I mean, and I think I thank you for being a part of everything that you've done, because you've given so much to me and so many others around the world. I want the name Edwina Wilson to be synonymous around the world, because you've touched so many people with the little things, the medium things, the big things, the extraordinary things that you do. And it is about the conferences, and it is about the caregivers galas, and it is about the things that you launch, but it's those little things where people just have a chance to know you and have a chance to talk to you and have a radio spot or be on a radio show, or you inspire people to continue to push forward. So is there anything you would share with us before we close? Just I
want to see greatness in people, and I've catered myself, and I've dedicated myself to this community.
Mm-hmm.
I could be doing so much, but it's people like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's people like Shayna. It's people like Nikki. And I'm going to tell you, if nobody calls me or texts me, Nikki is going to call me or text me. If she don't see me or hear from me, Nikki's going to, Miss Wilson, I'm just checking up on you. I just seen if you are, I miss you. Before she even had my phone number, she would inbox me.
Mm-hmm.
But now she had my personal phone number. She would text me. I ain't seen you in a few days. Just checking on you. So you would not believe how much that can make a difference in me, how that can push me to keep going, because somebody see that it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody see that she's missing what she's doing. Where is she at? We need her back here. You have encouraged me. You have motivated me. This is what I get from you all.
Mm-hmm.
So people like, again, yourself, Nikki, Shayna, Kyle, Christina, Lena, Jill, Sydney Coburn, y'all push me to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always thinking of what's the next thing I could do?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for them that could be so powerful. It's going to even blow their mind because, well, I'm already working on it. I just ain't going to say what it is, but I'm already working on it. It's blowing my mind. But I am so excited because I get to share that with you all. And it's for you all. I'm doing this for you. I would love to see more people come to the front. I would love to see more people show up and even be a part of the private group.
Right.
Even be a part of the private group. It's a safe space. And we took it from one place to another place, but it has become this secure, safe space for individuals to come and share and talk and what's in that space, stay in that space.
Yeah, and people need it.
Yes, especially during this pandemic. And man, it's been very deep, personal. It's been some deep moments.
Yeah.
But it's needed. But the beauty of it is everybody understand one another. And that's the whole beauty of this whole safe space. That's the beauty of this whole thing. Negativity, the reason I can let negativity go because I've been through stuff in my life. I wanted to go back to that. I've been through stuff in my life that you would not even understand or even believe that I even endured, but I did. I ain't ashamed to talk about my story. I'm not, don't care who hears my story, because guess what? Those things that I've gone through is going to help somebody else.
Yes,
and it's going to build them up, and it's going to allow you too to knock out all negativity in your life. As much as I've been through, don't bring no negativity around me or in my space. Don't even bring it. Because when you do, I'm going to turn it around, or I'm going to look at you and be like, we need to fix that.
Let's try that.
You have to learn to stop talking negative. We are our worst critics.
Yeah.
We are our worst enemies. And we're so quick to put ourselves down and talk negative about ourselves instead of bringing ourselves up. It is okay to be confident, okay? It's not that you're being cocky. You have to learn to be confident in yourself. Know your worth.
And that phrase, that's another one right there. The first time she said that phrase, I said, what? Because not a lot of people think about that. And at times, Miss Winnie had to go back and say, wow, I had to get back to you on that one, because it's when somebody asks you to describe yourself or tell you about yourself, somebody else can do it. I can list things off about Miss Winnie. I'd be here 2 hours just because I know her. But sometimes when she's asked, shit, wait a minute. Let me come back to you on that. But I want to say this. I really believe in who this woman is. But I believe because she has shown me so much within myself. And I'm gonna close by saying this. I don't think there's anything this woman can't do. I really believe in the things that are going to come in the very near future and what we are working on. I'm so proud to work with her and be with her every step of the way, because when you're with a positive person in every step they do, you become positive. The negativity eventually will drain off of you, because darkness can't conquer light, but light can conquer darkness with just that much light. It just takes a little bit of light to shine through. That's what Miss Wilson is to me. She's the light when everything else is. When I get compacted, or I get worried, or I get scared, or I get concerned, yeah, I'll and I'll say this: I talk to Miss Wilson nearly every day. And you know what? It's gotten to where I need it, because it's almost like a shot in the arm of positivity. I can be totally looking at something one way, and she said, have you thought about this? Or she can be talking about something, and I say, Miss Winnie, you should do this. Write that down. Try this. And she goes, you know what? I used to, I don't know. But, and because we lift each other up, and it's a difference in working for someone and working with someone. I've worked for a lot of bosses in my life. I like this one because not only does she see the best in me, she brings the best out of me with very little effort in. She's never been the type of to talk down. A lot of bosses, when you do something wrong, and you get bombarded with all this stuff of what you should do. Sometimes she will say very little, and I'll go, dang, and I'll bring it out, and she's like, see, that's what I was talking about. But the reason I'm saying all this is to say this. I build up to here. This conference is life changing. It's not about. To me, it's about two things. It's what your story can do for you when you have the heart to tell it, but it's also what your story is going to do for the person that is listening that needs to hear it. Miss Wilson says this: everybody who is supposed to be here is going to be here. Again, I've got phrases that she has said to me that I can pull. Just like Jack Dart, I have 45 phrases from Jack Dart. I probably got about 90 with Miss Wilson, just because when you're with somebody every day, they impact your mind. And when you tell a story that someone else needs to hear, that they may have been struggling with something for so long, you don't even know what they're going through, but they hear something, one minute, little teeny tiny part, yellow piece of paper, out of your story. Still ain't heard that one yet. We gonna get there, but it is so powerful when I want to bring home a loaf of bread. I want to tell people about my disabled experience. I want to tell people about life in Brazil and Bibiana, little pieces make a puzzle. And when the puzzle comes together, it's a beautiful picture. That's what I want to close with. When this puzzle comes together and the 6th annual virtual CP conference comes together, it's going to make a beautiful picture. If you want to be part of the picture, if you want to be part of the paint, right now, get on your computer and type in Kelly's Choice Cares at gmail.com. And in the subject line, put speaker for the 6th annual CP conference. Put your topic, 2 times, and 2 days. Don't ask, do you want me to be a speaker? Please don't do that. Take the initiative.
That's it.
Do it. And
Just
do it.
do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Because you can change lives with one part of your story, and you may not even know it.
The difference is, I'm sorry, DJ, the difference is most people, when they have events, they're calling people to say, I want you to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. I'm giving opportunities for people to just share their stories. You don't have to call me and say, do you want me to be, or write on there, I would like to be, or can I be, or would you like me to be? Yep. Send an email to Kelly's Choice Cares at gmail.com with 2 days, 2 times your topic. Sure. And one of my team members will reach out to you. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's it. That's all. Now I'm gonna say this because I don't want y'all to think that I take every and anybody. And be honest. If you send me a message with some crap in it, then we're gonna have to talk about it.
Miss Winnie don't play, y'all. You gotta understand. She been through it. She knows how to filter out the stuff.
Because some people can get ridiculous. And I'm just being right honest, y'all. Because you can put your email out there and your information out there and you get some stupid stuff. So if you're serious and genuinely serious about speaking, we would love to have you. Come share your story about CP.
No spaces in the email, by the way. No spaces in the email, by the way. All one word.
Yeah, Kelly's Choice Cares at Gmail. I ain't say space or anything. Kelly's Choice Cares at gmail.com. But come on, be a part of what we're doing. Let's grow together. It takes a village.
Take a chance. take a chance. If you've never
Get
done
uncomfortable to get comfortable.
yeah.
But some people don't want to get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable and sharing your story. You can somebody's waiting on you.
Ms. Wilson, is there anything else you want to share? Any like how to get a hold of you or anything like that? You good where you at? I just want to make sure.
I'm good where I'm at. Y'all want to connect? Go under Kelly R. Smith. That's where I do most of the things live. Kelly R. Smith on Facebook, and we do have a business page that I am not consistent with. I need somebody to do it. Who wants to do that for me? Kelly's Choice Inc. is our business page. And but Kelly R. Smith is where you will see me the majority of the time. Me and Kelly. Yeah.
And so, everything and Miss Wilson does everything for Kelly. It is everything is about Kelly. It always has been. She is one of the brightest stars in the sky. She's a sweetheart. And
yes,
we love her so much. So
she said this last night. I guess it just didn't go nowhere. She just didn't feel that thing. She said, Mommy, we're gonna try it again. And I said, well, unfortunately, not to get the better ones, but to get the other ones. So we're going to get to a second choice because she just couldn't open her eyes. She had the first part, which is the better choice for her. That's going to be the best for her. We just couldn't do it. You had to have a solution in it because of the way they're made. It's not like the regular contact. This is a glass contact, so they needed the solution in it. So in order to get the solution in her eye with it, she had to bend over and put the contact up that way, right? So every time that joker was so, I was like, Kelly, just open it. That thing, I was like, okay, you know what? We couldn't do it. It was spilling. She kept having to pull more in, so we couldn't work with it. That's the better one for her. That's where she's gonna get the best results from. So she said, well, okay, Miss Wilson, we tried a few times. Let me go talk to the doctor to see what the alternative choice is. So they came with a smaller one. Of course, you didn't need the solution and everything with that. She put it on a little suction thing. We were able to get that on Kelly's eye, and that's the choice we're going with. And, behind the scenes, I was telling the doctor, I said, I'm not really happy with this because I want her to have the best. He said, I know you do, Miss Wilson. That's what he said. He said, I know you do. And we had a nice little talk before I left. And he shared something about a little baby that had cataract and had a surgery. And it was just, he was trying to soothe my mind, but still, I wanted the best for Kelly. I did, but I had to look at Kelly and say, you know what? This is part of her condition. This is what I have to work with. So I had to take that part and say, okay, we're going to start with this. So I did ask her, how long after she's with this one, could we revisit the other one? Because maybe after wearing this for a while, and maybe after getting used to open her eye with the smaller one, maybe she will be ready to adjust to getting the better one for her. Months down the road, or maybe a year later, who knows? But that's what I want for her. But go ahead.
But I want to say this before I give my my social media and all that. I love the fact that you fight. Parents need to learn, and I'm being honest. I know we're running a little long, but bear with me because this is important. Parents need to learn how to fight when your child has a disability. Some parents don't know how to go for the gusto. Some parents let the doctors tell them what to do. Doctors are great. Insurance companies are great. But you got to fight for what you need and what you want.
You do.
And Ms. Wilson just brought that to my attention a couple days ago. And it's not, we're all learning in this. This is a battle that we're all fighting. For all of us that have a disability, we get it. Okay. And when you don't get what you need, you suffer. You suffer. Don't suffer. Learn to fight. And if it don't work one way, go to the next and go to the next. And you keep fighting and you keep appealing and you keep going, and I know it's tough. I know it's tiring, but you've got
I think that's the problem right there, because you could get turned away, denied, declined so many times, and you could get tired of it.
Yep.
Don't get tired of it, because at the end of the day, you're pleasing them, but you're lacking in what your child needs. So do it for them. In all costs, fight hard for them and don't give up, because it can get discouraging. It can become overwhelming. It can make you say, forget it and throw your hands up. But think about the person that needs what you're looking for, and you are their advocate.
Right.
They can't do this for themselves. Do it for them.
Sometimes,
and like DJ, a couple of days ago, we talked about him in a new wheelchair. And, he was kind of got a little bit negative. He was getting ready to go into that a little while back. But we changed it. And as a matter of fact, I added on some things. I said, well, DJ, listen, as a matter of fact, when you go there, you saying they may not do this and that, tell them to put it through anyway. However, as a matter of fact, while you at it, give me some lights on my wheelchair too. And give me some, you got to ask for what you want. Why is it a necessity for DJ to have lights? Because DJ travels at night. No, he don't. But DJ travels at night, okay? Sometimes he may go to the store at night. Who knows? But DJ he travels to the store with his wheelchair. Why not have lights on your wheelchair so you can see when the sunrise is going down? Did I say that right?
It's a issue. It's a safety issue.
It is.
And
they need to know this.
And you
have to speak that thing up.
Your doctor can and will write a note. If you got the right one, your doctor will write whatever you need.
Whether it's the right one or not, if they are your doctor, and your doctor and the physical therapist or whoever you go to say, well, we need a letter from your doctor, that doctor should write up a letter as to why it's necessary for you to have that. How is it going to make it work for you? Why is it going to work for DJ? Why do DJ need this? How's it going to benefit DJ? Write those things up. Well, do you need me to tell you why? Okay, I can help you with that letter. Okay, sometimes if you need to help with the letter, help with the letter. Because they're not going to see everything you see. They're not at your house every single day. So sometimes we got to let them know what we see that they don't see and why it would benefit them.
And I love it. The last part, I said, Miss Winnie, when I call the insurance company, can I put you on three-way? She said, if you need me, boop. But see, again, that's that hidden part. We were talking with Lena about that. Just because not being able to get help.
Yeah, and she's our own advocate, just like you.
You need it, and you need it, because a lot of companies won't come in on the weekends. Oh, Miss Winnie didn't like that. She would, when Mama Winnie about to jump, and it's like she feels bad enough, and Lena over there by herself. She said, "Call me." But that's what we're talking about in support. This is the side of Miss Winnie that you don't get to see, because we're on Let Go Radio and on Facebook Live. She will fight. She will go punching and clawing and digging and kicking and in there. And sometimes don't let these people intimidate you, because that's what they try to do. Insurance companies, you can't. Don't tell me what I can't do. Put it through. Put it through. Then whatever. And don't say, well, they're going to deny it. I did that. They're going to deny. No. Don't speak that. You're already giving it an opportunity to be cut.
Exactly. You're already tearing yourself apart. Well, they ain't going to approve this. Well, they ain't going to let me get this. Well, they going to say, why do you need the lights? Or why do you need that type of remote? Well, why do you need caregivers or assistant remote on the back of your chair? Why do you? Well, Kelly needs one, first of all, because before I even realized this eye condition, I was like, what is this chick doing? She's running into every thing. I need to control this thing when I can, So why do you need these things? Well, let me explain to you. So maybe I can help you out a little bit. And then that way you can better understand where I'm coming from. And another thing they have to understand, like we said before, they're not in your house every day. They're not with you every day. They see what they see, and they see what is written down in paper.
And that's
what they go off of.
And the paper is not always what you need.
Or updated.
Yeah.
When we first started here in Virginia, 2007. What? Okay, you're talking about how many years ago?
Right.
People do progress. They do grow.
And here's the thing. Change. If you are wheelchair bound, you need to be able to move. So let me just say this real quick. When it comes to recline and tilt, get it. Because if you don't, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You get a pressure sore on your butt and you in bed for 6 months till that thing heals. That's not what you want. I have to do pressure lifts, which is this, every day because I can't sit in the same spot for a long period. Miss Wilson said, get that recline, get that tilt, and get the one that rises up because you need to be able to reach stuff. I said, yes, ma'am. And
because listen, y'all, let me share something. Y'all know DJ cooks at the counter, at this table. And he brought this grill, electric fryer. Because he can't reach the sink. I mean, it's stove properly. So that's more than enough. He is capable and able to cook, but he can't reach the stove like he need to. So what? And he's independent. All right. So because of his independence, these are things he need to add on to his wheelchair. He needs his chair to raise up so he can reach the sink, so he can reach the cabinets, so he can reach his stove without burning himself or something tilting over on him. All right. So he needs lights on his wheelchair because he do travel to go to the store up the street. He does that.
And you need lights during the day because I'm going to tell you why. There's a lot of areas and apartment complexes, I ain't going to say no names, that are not lit. And when it's not lit, it doesn't matter if it's 4 o'clock. It doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock. It doesn't matter if it's 9 o'clock. Y'all see what I'm doing with the hands. I'm trying to give y'all you need lights. You got to be able to see. I almost got hit by a truck, by a truck that set up this high and was just over my head. And the only reason that guy stopped was because Emily was behind me. If I would have had lights on my chair or something, he would have seen it.
Right.
That's enough right there.
Oh, you could get a loud enough horn as well to put on your chairs. They can do all these things.
Yep.
They can do that. And you can also ask for the type of wheelchair that has not only just the one that raises up, because Kelly has all of this. They wanted to take, why do Kelly need a chair raised? Why did Kelly need her chair to recline or tilt?
Mama has to lift her out of that chair.
Why do Kelly need her chair to have her feet elevated? Why? Why she need all these things? Mind you, everything we asked for, we got. Okay, so that's another thing for DJ to make sure you have the footrest where they can elevate at times. So your feet just won't be hanging straight down. You can elevate your feet at times. Yep. That helps with circulation better, like instead. So these are things sometimes we don't think about, but when you think about it, write it down because you never know when you might need it again. So if it comes to your mind, Dad, I need this, I need that, write it down so you can always remember. Put it in a place that you'll remember where it's at.
I love Miss Winnie being up here. We always get two shows because we start one way and we end up going somewhere else. We talk about a little bit of everything. But look, for real, I'm gonna close for real. I know I've been saying that for a little bit, but do fight, guys. You gotta fight for what you need. Don't give up. Don't quit. Don't stop. Push forward. Get it done.
And come join us at the caregivers. Come join us at the CP conference. It's virtual. You can be in your own space and you can share your story and lift someone up. You just never.
Everybody's home. Ain't nobody doing nothing anyway. All you got to do is just turn it on. You can hit a button and you can type on a keyboard. We either gonna be on StreamYard, Zoom, both. We're gonna get it done. Come check us out, and you know what? Come be a part of it and change lives. Come be a part of it and change lives.
Change lives.
please
impact somebody else.
touch somebody else
Yeah.
with a story that you have that can change their lives forever. And you know what? Change your life forever too. Because once you start, you never know what you can do till you get going. Maybe you'll have 12 different things going on. Maybe you'll get you a Miss Winnie. And I'll say, I got one. But see, I share my mama Winnie. Y'all understand? I share. She got so many internet kids. Lord have mercy. Miss Winnie popular everywhere.
I adore every single one.
Sure enough.
Sure do. And they can call me anytime. All of them. They know it. But y'all be great, be blessed, and be a blessing to somebody else by sharing your story. We look forward to seeing y'all at the Cerebral Palsy Conference.
You almost went there, Miss Winnie. That's right. And again, it is this Friday, March 26th, 2:30. Yep, we're going to do 12 to 2, take a break from 2 to 4, and then come back from 4 to 6. Make sure that you send your emails if you want to be a speaker to kellyschoicecares@gmail.com 2 times, 2 days, so we can fit you in. Change lives, do it fast, because you'll regret it if you miss out on the greatest conference ever. Guys, you can reach me anywhere on YouTube at My CP Does Not Define Me. You can reach me at Worth the Wait Cooking with DJ Carter, Chairmaster Games. You can reach me on my blog, CarterDJ85 at Wix.com. You can reach me on Instagram, My CP Does Not Define Me. You can reach me on Twitter, My CP Does Not Define Me, at Minion Sports. And Facebook is DJ Carter. So we will be glad to see you at this year's conference. Remember what I say, if you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with the roll away, saying we'll see you next Wednesday at 2 o'clock for My CP Does Not Define Me.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. But don't worry, you can catch us again next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on www.letgoradio.net and on Facebook and YouTube at My CP Does Not Define Me. Remember, I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. And if you can't be bad, but be good at it. We'll see you next week.
Bye.